Good morning, dear students. Now we see the second lesson, force and motion. Now we see the second lesson, force and motion. In this picture, in the first picture, Kavita reached a school in two ways. Can you tell? By choosing which path she could reach the school early. That is road A or road B. Yes. Using the road A, she could reach the school early. Now you look at the nearby picture. In this picture, in the first picture, the path of the leaf when there is no wind. That is the path A. And the second one is the path B. Here the path of the leaf when there is wind. In which path the leaf will reach the ground first? Yes, using the path A, the leaf will reach the ground first. Now you see this picture. In this picture explains Uma and Priya are friends. Both are friends. They were studying in the same school. After the school hours, they go to the nearby playground that is given in the picture and play games and return back to home. One day, Uma told that she would reach the playground after visiting her grandmother's house. The path in which they took reach the playground is shown here. Here the curves are given. So we take a twin and measure the length of the two paths, the path A and the path B. Now, which is the longest path among the two? Here, which one is the longest path among the two? Yes, path B is the longest path among the two. From these examples, we could conclude that when an object travels from one place to another, it will reach faster if it travels along the straight line path. The straight line path is the shortest distance between the 2 points. Now we see the distance and displacement. Now we see the distance. The total length of a path taken by an object to reach one place to another is known as distance. The total length of a path taken by an object to reach one place to another, that is known as the distance. Here the distance and displacement both is given. Here the distance is the total length of a path taken by an object to reach one place from the other, that is known as the distance. But the displacement is the shortest distance from the initial to the final position of an object. Here in this picture, distance and displacement both are given. Here the distance and displacement both has the same SI unit, that is the meter, that is represented as small m. Here the motion of a person between the two places, that is A and B. Here he travels 10 km in the first path. In the second path he travels 7 km. The distance between A and B in the first path is 10 km and the second path is 7 km. So the shortest distance between the two places is 5 km. That is the displacement. The above both are 10 and 7 km, both are the distance, but the 5, that is the displacement, that is the shortest distance. Now we see about the speed. Speed is the rate of change of distance. Speed is the rate of change of distance. Speed equal to distance by time, that is equal to m by s, that is m per second minus 1, that is m meter second minus 1. Now we see about the uniform speed and the non-uniform speed. Uniform speed, if body in motion covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. Non-uniform speed, if body in motion covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time. Now we see about the velocity. Rate of change in displacement is known as the velocity. Rate of change in displacement is known as the velocity. Velocity equal to displacement by time, that is equal to meter by second, that is meter per second minus 1. Here the example is given. If an athlete in the diagram takes 25 seconds to complete 200 meters sprint event, find her speed and velocity. The speed equal to distance by time. So that is 200 by 25, that is given in this sum, that is equal to 8 meter per second. Velocity equal to displacement by time. Here 50 by 25, so that is equal to 2 meter per second. Now we see about the uniform velocity and the uniform non-uniform velocity. Uniform velocity, it covers the equal displacement in same direction in equal intervals of time. Non-uniform velocity, if either speed or direction changes, the velocity is non-uniform. That is non-uniform velocity. Now we see about the acceleration. Acceleration is the rate of change in velocity. Acceleration is the rate of change in velocity. If a body moves speed or direction, then it is said to be accelerated. So acceleration equal to change in velocity by time. That is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity by time. That is A equal to V minus U by T. In this, A is acceleration, V is the final velocity, U is the initial velocity, and T is the time. So the SI unit of the acceleration is the meter per second square. In other words, the object undergoes acceleration when its speed or direction or change in both speed and direction. And we see about the positive acceleration and the negative acceleration. Positive acceleration, if the velocity of an object increases with respect to time, then the object is said to be in positive acceleration. For example, a car starts to travel in a straight path. It reaches a velocity of 12 meters per second in 4 seconds. What is the acceleration? Assuming that the accelerates uniformly. Initial velocity u equal to 0 meter per second. And the final velocity that is given, that is the 12 meter per second. So the time taken is 4 seconds. So the the formula A equal to V minus U by T, that is equal to 12 minus 0, that is 12 minus 0 by 4. The answer is 3 minutes per second square. So next one is the negative acceleration. So if the velocity of an object decreases with respect to time, then the object is said to be in negative acceleration. If the velocity of an object decreases with respect to time, then the object is said to be in negative acceleration. For example, the velocity of a golf ball rolling in a straight line changes from 8 meters per second to 2 meters per second in 10 seconds. What is its declaration? Assuming that it is decelerating uniformly. So initial velocity u equal to 8 meters per second, and the final velocity v equal to 2 meters per second, and the time t equal to 10 seconds, that is given in the sum. So the formula A equal to v minus u by t, that is equal to 2 minus 8 by 10. So here the answer is minus 0.6 meter per second square. Now we see about the distance and time graph. Now we see about the distance and time graph. So here a car traveling along a straight line away from the starting point O. The distance of a car is measured for every second. The distance and time are recorded and a graph is plotted using a data. Here this slide, car is at rest. Using the given time and distance, the graph is plotted. Here the result is the graph has zero gradient. The distance is constant for every second. The distance is constant for every second. So in this slide, the car is uniform speed. Here using the given time and distance, the graph is plotted. Here the answer is here the graph shows the graph has zero constant gradient. The distance increases 10 meter every second. Here the car is traveling at uniform speed. The distance increases 10 meter every second. So in this picture, the car is traveling at increasing speed. Here the car is traveling in increasing speed using the given time and distance. The graph is plotted. So in this increasing speed, the graph shows the graph has an increasing gradient. The speed increases. The instantaneous speed of the car at t equal to 3 seconds is given by the gradient of the tangent at the point. In this slide, the car is traveling at decreasing speed. Here the car is traveling at a decreasing speed by using the given time and distance. The graph is plotted. So here the graph shows it has a decreasing gradient. The speed decreases. It has a decreasing gradient and the speed also decreases. Now we see about the speed and time graph. Now we see about the speed and time graph. Just we imagine a bus traveling from Tanjavur to Trichy. The speed of a bus is measured for every second. The speed and time are recorded and a graph is plotted using the data. So in this first slide, the bus is at rest. Using the given speed and time, the graph is plotted. So the graph shows the speed remains at 0 meter per second. The speed remains at 0 meter per second. So the car has zero acceleration. So the car has zero acceleration. In this slide, the bus traveling at uniform speed of meter per second. Here using the given time and speed, the graph is plotted. It shows the speed remains at 10 meter per second. So here the speed remains at 10 meter per second minus 1, so that the car has zero acceleration. In this slide, the bus is traveling with uniform acceleration using the given time and speed. The graph is plotted. It shows the speed of the car. It shows the speed of the car increases by 10 meter per second. So every second. Hence the graph has the positive and the constant gradient, and the acceleration is constant. Here the bus traveling with decreasing acceleration, that is non-uniform acceleration using the time and speed. The graph is plotted. Here the graph shows the increase in the speed. The increase in speed is decreasing with the time. The increase in speed is decreasing with the time. Hence the graph has the positive and the decreasing gradient, and the acceleration decreases. Now we see about the center of gravity and stability. Now we see about the center of gravity and stability. So here the first one is the center of gravity. Center of gravity, the point at which the thing gets balanced is called as the center of gravity. The point at which the thing gets balanced is called center of gravity. The center of gravity of an object is the point through which the entire weight of the object appears to act. Now we say about the center of gravity for regularly shaped objects and the center of gravity for irregular shaped objects. Now we say about center of gravity for regularly shaped objects and we see about the center of gravity for irregular shaped objects. The first one is regular shaped objects. So weight of card, weight of triangle, weight of disc and weight of ring. This is the example for regular shaped objects. So the irregular shaped card, string, pendulum bob and stand. This is the example for the irregular shaped objects. So now you see the second picture. Here the meter rule is given. The ruler is in equilibrium when supported at its center of gravity. For a regular object, such a uniform meter rule, the center of gravity is at the center of the object. When the object is supported at that point, it will be balanced. If it is supported at any other point, it will be toppled. Now we see about the stability. Measure of body's ability to maintain its original position is known as stability. Measure of body's ability to maintain its original position is known as the stability. Now we see about the types of stability. There are three types of stability. One is stable equilibrium, the other one is the unstable equilibrium, and the last one is the neutral equilibrium. Now we see about the first one, that is the stable equilibrium. Here the frustum can be tilted through a quite big angle without toppling. Its center of gravity is raised when it is displaced. The vertical line through its center of gravity still falls within its base, so it can return to its original position. Now we see the second type, unstable equilibrium. Here the frustum will topple with the slightest tilting. Its center of gravity is lowered when it is displaced. The vertical line through its center of gravity falls outside its base. Now we see the last one, neutral equilibrium. It causes frustum to topple. The frustum will rolls about but does not topple. Its center of gravity remains at the same height when it is displaced. The body will stay in any position to which it has been displaced. Now we see about the conditions for stability. To make a body more stable, lower its center of gravity, increases the area of its base. The box is at the point of tipping over. A heavy base lowers the center of gravity, so the box does not tip over. A broad base makes the box more difficult to tip over. Thank you, students.